Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel. My name is Mayowa and today I'm going to be showing you how to make another type of statement sleeve. So today I'll be showing you how to make a smoked sleeve or a Canadian smoked sleeve. Apart from today's video, previously I have videos where I showed you how to make other types of statement sleeves. I have a tutorial on how to make a puffy sleeve, how to make a leg of muton sleeve, how to make a draped stroke cowl sleeve, and etc and etc. You can check the link to any of these videos in the description box down below. So for today I'll be showing you on how to make a Canadian smoked sleeve. I don't even know why it's called a Canadian smoked sleeve because it really doesn't it sounds weird for a sleeve to be called by or to be named by a country, but you know, with fashion things are named weirdly sometimes. But then it's called a Canadian smoked sleeve. So I've been seeing it trending. It's like a trendy sleeve and I've been seeing it like everywhere, so I decided to do a tutorial on how to make this Canadian smoked sleeve. So let's get right onto it. Oh, but before I continue, please don't forget to hit the subscribe button down below and give this video a thumbs up sign. Let's move on. First things first, to achieve this statement sleeve, you would have to get your you can see from the picture that this sleeve is a type of puffy sleeve, but it's attached to the sleeve of the dress in this picture that I'm showing to you. So to get that, you would measure your sleeve width here, just like we do for when we want to make a puffy sleeve. So you get your sleeve width multiplied by 3, so that gives you what you are going to have here, and then you measure the length where you want your sleeve to get to. So wherever you want the sleeve to get to, you need to add like extra 5 to 10 inches to that sleeve, to your sleeve length. So let's just say you want your sleeve is going to be like 8 inches. You need to add like between 5 to 10 inches to the length of your sleeve, just to accommodate the smoking, because when we start the smoking, the fabric is going to get pulled up and it's going to get shorter. So that extra added length is going to make up for all of the pulling up. So we'll arrive at the you arrive at the desired length that you want, that you planned for initially. So that's the reason why you'll be adding between 5 to 10 inches to the sleeve length. Now the next thing to do, it's easy to make a puffy sleeve. You can always, if you are going to be using your elastic, all you have to do is to fold these parts, and then you fold this part also, and then you sew this also down. Or if you are gathering it, you have to gather this part. So before you do anything, before we start with the smoking, you have to get that part done, and this part also, you get it done. Now the next thing we need to do is to mark out the pattern of our smoking. So I'm just going to use a pencil to mark out how we want to sew, just so that you can always sew it without marking it, but I don't think you'll be able to get what you are doing, because the whole thing will not align and all of that. So we'll have to mark out smoking, that the way we'll sew it, that is the pattern of how we'll sew it. So you leave some space. Let's just assume that I have folded this part, so I'm going to be starting from here. I'm just going to mark that out, then I'll come right here and do the same. Now the next thing is to leave some space here also, because this represents the side seam. So I'm just going to mark out 1 inch here also, and 1 inch also at this other side. Now after marking out your side seams, we'll start marking out the patterns for smoking. So mark out like 1 inch away from this side seam. Then we'll do it all the way down, 1 inch straight down. Now this is where we'll be starting our smoking from. This is just a line. So you mark another 1 inch like this. And we'll leave a 2 inches gap here, and then you draw a line again. So this is just me forming a box, so I'm going to mark out 1 inch again. So this is just me forming a box for my smoking. So I'm going to do the same again all the way till I get to the end of this fabric. So I'll leave another 2 inches gap like I left here. I'll leave it here again. Then 1 inch again. Now I have all my lines marked out. So in between, inside these boxes, I'm going to be creating diagonal lines like this. So then you leave a 2 inches gap between here and start again. So I'll leave a 2 inches gap. Then I'll start again. I'll create another new diagonal line. Then I leave another 2 inches gap. Then I create another diagonal line. So now we do the same here. How long your diagonal line is, it depends on you, so you can just use your discretion. Please make sure you don't use a pencil when you are marking yours, because a pencil is going to be difficult to get out of your fabric. You can always use like a tailor's chalk or a fabric marker that would clear up immediately you are done with whatever it is you want to do. So then I'll continue. I'll leave a 2 inches gap here also. Then I'll create another diagonal line. Then you continue, you keep creating the diagonal line all the way till you get to the last box. So yeah, I'm done drawing, marking out my diagonal line. So these lines are just there as guidelines for you, so to make it easy for you when you want to sew. So then you pick up your needle and thread. Make sure you double the thread, not twice like this. Make sure it's like into 4 strands. So because this is the wrong side, we'll place our needle here. So it goes in like this, then it comes here, it's out here, then you make sure you put your needle through and it comes out here. Then it goes here again. And then it comes out here. zigzag like that. So you place your needle comes first from here. Your needle goes in here, then it comes out here, then you come here, and then you come here. And this is what it's going to look like at the back. This is what this is going to look like. So I'm going to have to redo this one. You can always leave it like this and not tie it yet. So I'm just going to do that now, so that, because you know I didn't double my own thread, so it keeps pulling out. So I'm just going to redo that part. Then when I'm done with everything, I'll pull. But now I think I want to do it this way till I'm done with everything before I pull it. Now this is what my completed pattern is going to look like. This is what it's going to look like at the back. So when you take your needle in here, it comes out here, goes in here, comes out here. Then you come right here again, your needle goes in here, comes out here, goes in here, comes out here. Then the last one, your needle goes in here, comes out here, goes in here, then comes out here, and then you do the same for all the other boxes. So now the next thing is to start pulling the thread. This is what, but before then, this is what this looks like on the right side. I hope you can see it. You can see the thread. Hope you can see the thread. So please make sure when you are doing your own, you use a thread of matching color with your fabric. The only reason why I use this thread is just so that you can see what I'm doing, because if I try to use like a white thread here, you won't necessarily see all of this. So now let's start pulling. So you pull and then you tighten it. Remember to double your thread when you are, don't make it like a double like this, make it like into 4 strands of thread, just so it doesn't cut. Then I'll pull this also. And tie it. Now this is what this looks like. Before I pull the others, this is what it looks like. You can see that the length of the stuff has gotten shorter. The length of my fabric has gotten shorter. So that's why we always have to add extra inches to the length of the sleeve. So I'm just going to pull out everything like so, and then I'll show you what the final outcome looks like. So this is the completed smoked fabric. And I'll admit this is going to take a bit of time to do, because that's why it's called a statement sleeve, obviously. So but then to reduce the time, because obviously your fabric is going to be wider than this because it's a puffy sleeve, and then you have to like measure what you have here, multiply by 3, whatever you get is what is going to be the width of this. So it's going to be wider than this. So if you want yours, you can create wider margins in between yours, just so that it's going to be less time consuming to smoke this. Or if you don't want to create wider margins, you want it like really tight and really smoked like this, you can always leave the 2 inches gap I added when I was making my own pattern. So now if you need to what's it called, if you need to like put your elastic band there, this is the time, because you would have, before you tighten all of this smoke, before you smoke them, you should have already sewn your enclosing. Like I mentioned before, you should have sewn the closing down. So now is the time you need to like put in your elastic band into this, or if you are gathering it, you should have already sewn your gather stitch down. So now is the time you start pulling your gather stitch to the desired width you want. So, and this is what the completed smoke looks like. This is what it is behind. Make sure you cut off all your threads, and that's basically it. So once you are done attaching the elastic band, you put this together right sides together, and then you sew down by 1 inch, because this is the side seam. So you sew this down by 1 inch and then you turn it open. And this is what a little representation of it is going to look like. And of course, you know it's going to be puffier than this. It's going to be more puffy. It's going to have a bigger puff rather. You need to have a bigger puff than this. So just imagine it looks like this. And of course the threads will not be showing like this, because you would have really tightened it, and you won't be using this color of thread obviously. So yeah. And that's all for today, guys. Please don't forget to subscribe to my channel and also like this video. If you have any other further questions concerning today's tutorial, please don't hesitate to type it in the comment section and I'll reply as soon as I can. See you in my next video. Bye.